Doctor, you mean that someone is trying to harm my daughter? He asked, a little shocked with the revelation that doctor had gave him. I am not sure, Mr. Kim. It's maybe the case or maybe it's a careless on Yunhi part. He said, we have to ask her about this, but if it's true that someone is trying to harm one, then it's Mr. Kim got worried listening to this. Wyan, who was sitting beside him, held his arm and tried to console him. Come on, Dad, let's go. We have to tell Mom and her auntie, she said, and Mr. Kim stood up. They went out of Doctor's cabin and moved toward Yunhi's room. They were in the middle of an Wyan saw him coming toward them with anger visible on his face. He was about to say something when he saw his father's hurt face and painful eyes. What happened? What did the doctor said? Is Juni fine? He asked in one go. Uni's fine, Tai. Come with me. I want to talk to you, she said, and then looked at Mr. Kim. Dad, you go ahead. Mr. Kim nodded his head and went ahead. She grabbed the young arm and take him to side. Before he could say something, she questioned him. Did you meet Sujin? What did he say? Now his anger was back listening to his name. That he hit his palm on the wall with the force. She gasped as she took his hand and started to rub it. Please calm down and tell me what happened. He had gone to Sujin's house first thing this morning as he wanted to talk to him. Luckily, he had found him just outside his house. Probably he was going to his office. Taehyung came out of the car and went to Sejin, who had just came out of his house, grabbed his collar. How dare you to hurt Yun? Have you any idea what she is going through? He shouted in anger. Leave me, I didn't hurt her. She was the one who hurt my mother, he shouted, trying to take his hand off him. What rubbish are you talking? He said, getting confused. Rubbish, I am talking rubbish. Go and ask Yoon. Didn't she push my mother down the stairs? Wasn't she giving my mother sleeping pills? She wanted to kill my mother just because she was not her choice of daughter-in-law. Just because my mother taunted her few times, he said in one go. What are you mad? Why would you do this? All she isn't like that. She would never even harm her enemy. She respected your mother so much, he said. You think my mother is lying? She told me that Yuni pushed her and I found sleeping pill in her drawer. I was too wondering why my mother has suddenly developed habit of sleeping that much. He said in a disgust tone, I don't want to do anything with the person who is harming my mother. Doesn't matter if she is my wife. Now Taehyung was hell confused. What happening and what about Yoonhee? Did you know she was pregnant? He said in anger and saw surprise on Susan. Did you know what her burn got? So that doctor were thinking to cut her hand. Do you know that she had lost her baby? He said in anger and Susan shocked her eyes. After a few seconds, the scar was back on Susan's face. Well, that's good then. Who knows whose the baby was? Susan, he shouted and grabbed his collar again. What are you saying? What wrong did I say? I catch her myself talking to my friend. She was saying I love you to him. What do you say about that? I was blinded in her love that when Anne warned me, I didn't trust her. She was cheating on me, he said. It's all Annie doing. Can't you see that? You have known June for a year. Do you really think that she would do all this? And that Annie, how long have you known her that you trust her over June? He said in anger. Oh, now you will blame Anne. She was nothing but a caring toward everyone. I have seen her taking care of my household when Yuni would be sleeping and complaining it was her duty to take care of my mother. But instead, Anne was doing that. He said, Yuni can go live her life as soon as I divorce her. I don't want anything with her now. How disgusting, June. For you, she fought with the family, and here you are not even trusting her. He said, moving back. What divorce you will give her, I will make sure that she doesn't come back in the hell again. Yes, why not? After all, you loved her, right? You wanted to marry her, but she chose me. Who knows? This all planned by you two. She was not happy with me, a middle class guy. She herself said that it was a mistake that she married me. Now you have a chance to get her back. Who knows, maybe that child was your I will. He was ranting on without thinking but stopped when he saw Taehyung raising his hand to punch him. He moved back a step, afraid. I sure wish to punch you right now, but I know you wouldn't like that. She loved you that much. You will regret, June. You will regret real bad, and that time I won't let you meet her, he said and went to his car. He opened the door and looked at June. Sometimes what you see, it's not the complete truth, June. Sometimes the situation is made on purpose to make you see what others want you to see. Just think and you will know how wrong you are. With that, he sit in his car and drive away. The doctor is right then. It's the case of, she said after few seconds lost in thought. What did the doctor? He said, grabbing her arms. The doctor found trace of alcohol in Unni's blood, which caused this miscarriage, she said in a worried tone when he left her arms with a shock. I am sure someone gave her alcohol, maybe mixed it in something because Unni would never drink or eat something which will harm her baby, she said. Anne, he said, I am sure she is behind all this. That's what I thought as well. And you know, doctor also said that if she got burned from tea, then it should have been that bad. It will only happen in it burn again or use wrong ointment on it or maybe expire one. That's why her burn got that bad, she said in tone. Why we have to ask her if Anne had given her ointment, he said, and then moved from there. Mr. Kim had informed Mrs. Kim and Mrs. Min about what doctor had said. Yuni had tears in her eyes. She told them that it was Annie who gave her ointment to put her burn and from a mouth she was giving her juice milk to drink. That's why she would feel sleepy most of time because it was due to the effect of alcohol. She didn't knew that Anne was planning all this until yesterday when she put the blame on her that she was cheating on Sejun with his friend who was actually Anne's fiance. Taehyung and Boyan also reached after few minutes shared their thought. Mr. Kim repeated to them what Yuni had told them and it was clear to them it was all Anne planning to take Yuni out of Sejun's life. Yuni wanted to talk to Sejun, but Taehyung refused. When he got angry on him, he told her about his conversation with Sejun. They all got shocked and started to cry, and Yuni told them that she didn't push Sejun's mother. It was Anne who made it like that. Yuni did it. Mr. Kim had enough of this. I am filing case against them, especially that Anne. If she thinks that she can get away with this, Then she is wrong and went out of the room, telling to follow him. Doctor came and Yuni informed them that they can take her home tomorrow as tonight they wanted to put her on drip. Because of him, the living is very. Mr. Kim talked to his lawyer and asked him to file the case of against Junsun family and also file divorce from Yunhi's side as well. He would not let his daughter to go to that hell again. One was cutting fruit for Yuni. When Yunshi came into the kitchen, she took the juice from fridge and turned to Wine. You know, you should look after your husband more than Yuni. Wine stopped cutting the fruit and looked at Yuni with a surprise. What do you mean? I mean, Taehyung is spending quite a lot of time with Yuni, don't you think? She said, taking a sip of juice. Wine pressed her lips in irritation. So she said in his best friend, and at this time she need her friend and family. Friend and family wine, not only friend. And from what I see, it's more Taehyung who is. Yunshi was saying, but Wine cut in with irritation. Stop it, Unni. There is nothing what you are thinking. I will suggest you to keep your thought to yourself. Yeah, fine, but the truth won't change from me being shut. You and we all know that Taehyung loved Yuni, she said, and took her glass and moved to her door. And who knows, that love is still there. One shut her eyes to compose herself and saying she won't think like this. She trusts her husband. With then Wine took the fruit plate and moved out of the kitchen. She was near the door when she heard the sound of the laughter. She didn't went in but stood in the door little to side. Saw Yuni holding Taehyung arm who was sitting beside her on bed and she had a smile on her face and Taehyung leaned in and said something which turned her smile into giggle.